Hey everyone, RG here and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 speed build on the channel, and welcome to a build that you picked. You picked this build and I'm here just to deliver. And welcome to Paris, and more specifically the Eiffel Tower Avenue. Yes, I pulled that off. I created a almost like the real Eiffel Tower in-game. I created it for you in the Sims 4 game. So now you can take your lovely girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend, whatever you like, you can take them over here to a lovely trip or a stroll and enjoy some nice time in one of the most romantic places, of course, in my opinion, in the world. Now you can have it in the game, in the Sims 4 game. You don't need to have no CCs, so you don't need to have anything in order to load this, except one thing. You do need to have the Journey to Batu pack, and we'll get to that later on. But yeah, those metal beams that you're seeing me creating the Eiffel Tower are actually from this pack, so you must have them in order to load this build into your game. And yeah, I know many of you gonna hate me for that, but I said it before and I stand behind my statement. The Journey to Batu, although the gameplay is not really even my cup of tea, the building items are just amazing. And I gotta tell you that, let's talk about the build itself and how I came out to this, because the testing part of it was off camera and it was kinda long time. I was thinking, and I actually almost broke my head thinking and trying to figure how and with what items to try and build this. And I tried with some metal beams and some poles, and maybe I do remember that I even tried using like there was some sort of a coffee tables or something. Yeah, I went through a lot of things until I figured that those beams from those metal beams from the Journey to Batu debugs items are the perfect things to try and manipulate them and rotate them and play with them until I created the structure itself. Now you can see that I'm creating 1/4 at a time, and in a bit we're actually gonna talk a bit the Eiffel Tower itself, because funny enough, the building process of me building it in-game was almost similar to the way it was built in real life. But first of all, let me introduce myself to anyone that is new in the channel. My name is RG and I'm building in the Sims 4 game builds that probably no one else does, or if they did, of course I do it my way with my interpretation for them. I mainly build things that are not the typical houses, just like the Eiffel Tower, and I build the Colosseum in Rome, and I build the White House, and I build things that are not related to worldwide builds, just like a yacht and private jet and gold temple and bank. I build so many things that will spice your gameplay that you are probably gonna enjoy playing them. So if you're new here, consider subscribing to the channel. And now let's talk about this build, because you can see me building 1/4 at a time, and this is actually the key to build this build. I build it that way because that way I can make sure that it will be almost, I mean you'll see in a bit why, almost perfect. And you can see right now why. Once you are building it in quarters, you can do only small tweaks and changes to make sure it will connect in the right locations. It's much easier than building the whole thing and try to make sure the whole objects and the whole beams are connected if you're building it in one piece. So if you build it in quarters, it's much more easier. Same trick I used on the Colosseum that I built, and on the I think the Gold Temple, the Lost Temple of Gold, I built with the same trick, 1/4 at a time. And you can see that I'm trying to build it with like 5 levels. I think it ended up being 5 levels. Yes, there are 4 levels only in the game, but the last level, that like the 4th level, you can actually build on top of it without, because I'm not using really walls, so I don't need to create a room on top. I can just play with beams. So basically you have 5 floors, but you need to do this in a certain way, and you'll see in a bit how I did that. Now, of course, to save you some time, you're not gonna see me placing all of those beams and creating them, you're not gonna see the whole placement because it's kind of repetitive. Doing one side, basically I do it the same thing to the other side until I have one corridor, and then I save it as a room, and then I can place it. So this is very similar to the real Eiffel Tower and how it used to be built, but they built it in, I believe, 3 sections: the base, the midsection, and the tip, which was very, very high. So this is how they built it. I built it with 5 parts because that way I could actually work it out and make sure that the levels of the rooms actually connect the perfect way. So yeah, a bit different, but kind of similar. Now, if you are new here or you missed it, this build actually is part of the poll, or the survey, if you will, that I hosted, I think, 1 month ago. And I had many things to do in the game. I created some other things by the time I started building this one. But first of all, I want to let you know that I wanted to do that from first day in the game. Like from the first day in Sims 4, I wanted to create the Eiffel Tower, or in general, builds from around the world, and the Eiffel Tower was always my Eiffel Tower. It's like some sort of a say. My Eiffel Tower is my greatest thing, but I don't know if this is the greatest thing that I created, but it's definitely one of the top 5 things that I managed to do in the game, and I always wanted to do that. And only after the Journey to Batu came to the game, I actually managed to do that. So you see, sometimes things in life are just timing. So yeah. So if you don't know, this build actually came from the survey that I hosted, and in that survey I actually gave you, I think, 5 options to pick from, and 1,600 people participated, which was super cool. And just to brief you, to give you a small brief, and to let you know that I had in mind one build for each country. Now, of course, in previous time, I already created the Colosseum in Rome. I created the White House in the USA. I created the Big Ben from UK. I created even a London bus, double-decker, which was some sort of a bar. And yeah, so in the survey, I actually gave 5 countries a chance to be picked and a new build to be built for those countries. So for France, of course, I had in mind the Eiffel Tower. I also had in mind maybe the Victory Gate, I think it's called. But I don't know. When I saw the Eiffel Tower, you cannot look at it and say that it's less magnificent and less challenging than the Victory Gate or something. So of course I went with the Eiffel Tower, because I said if I pull this off, it will be insane. And of course without CCs and mods that you need to own, because I do know that there is a mod that you can visit almost like real life Paris. Someone created it, but of course mods cannot be played by console players, and cannot be played by people who don't want to play with mods, and cannot be played by people that do not know how to play with mods. So this way you don't need mods. You just need Journey to Batu pack. So yeah, for the USA, which was the second option, I had in mind Winchester Mystery House. Now, for those who don't know, that survey took place kind of close to Paranormal Staff Pack release, and I said, okay, so why not to create the Winchester Mystery House, or the Winchester Mansion? People sometimes refer it this way. Maybe I will make it at some point. This is really cool mansion, kind of weird because, well, this is the whole story. Well, you're more than welcome to go and check it out to see what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was the idea for the USA. Now, for Romania, I actually wanted to create also, because it was close to the Paranormal Staff Pack release date, I want to create the Castle of Dracula, like the real one. There is a castle in Romania that's called the Castle of Dracula, which is by the legend and the stories. This is the castle where Dracula used to live. So that was the build for Romania. Now for Hungary, I had in mind building the Parliament House, which is very, very big and magnificent. Well, it is very impressive build, with very small details and stuff on the like small archways on top of windows, something very, very impressive. And for Spain, I wanted to build the Sagrada de Familia, which is, well, if you've never been to Spain, this is one of the things that you must see in Spain. This is very impressive structure, very unique, and I think they just finished like remaking it or refurnishing it or remodeling it or fixing it. I don't remember what they did, but they did something But let's go back to our Eiffel Tower, because we are here after you picked it, with 40% of the votes going to the France build. And yeah, so I had a lot of fun creating this. It was exhausting, I will not lie to you. It was exhausting to place those metal beams manually so many times, so many changes, so many small tweaks and modifications to the angles, just to make sure that they will connect right and will not look like they are misplaced or something. But I had a great time creating it. Now, you know the drill, just as always. Some information about the build itself. I built it in the map of the University Pack. So I don't remember right now how it called. Maybe I'll place it on the screen, but I bet you know how it called. And I place it, you can see, in the middle where there are many buildings around it, because I created this as a park, as a national park for you to come over to enjoy. There will be some fountains, something to eat. There will be a public restroom, a small trail to visit with bikes, and something nice to do some picnic outside. Something very cool. This build is on 40 by 50, which is not the typical dimensions. And I don't think that there are much lots with those dimensions in the game, so you're definitely gonna need to place it somewhere. And I do hope that you do have this this expansion, so you can place it exactly where I placed it. And if you don't have it, you can place it on 50 by 50. You will not cut anything out of it. If you place it on 40 by 40, you will cut the fountains that you see me creating right now, and those are very cool fountains. I actually, in the cinematics, I created them as dancing fountains. Now, if you don't know how to do that, stick around in a bit and I'll explain to you. Just remind me that in the later in the video, or I reminded it to myself to explain to you how to do dancing fountains. Something very cool, very simple, but you need to do that. It will not work automatically once you are downloading this build to your game. So I'll explain that later on. And now some fun facts about the Eiffel Tower that you probably didn't know, and I'm taking those information directly from the Eiffel Tower website, so I cannot say that they are not right. No one can say. The party pooper cannot party on our party. Cannot party on our party. He cannot poop on our party. Okay, so listen up, because some of the information here are just insane. Its constructions started at 1887, which is like what, roughly 150 years ago. And it was actually a gift from the French people to the French people for celebrating the 100th anniversary for the French Revolution. The height of the tower from the base up to the tip is 324 meters high, or 1060 feet for those who are counting in feet. And listen up to this one, because this is mind-blowing. It used 18,038 metallic parts. Now I don't know if they're counting like the bolts as metallic parts, but if those are only like the beams, that's insane. 18,038. Now this one is really gonna blow your head. 7,300 tons of iron. 7,300 tons! Do you know what happens if that thing's fall on your head? Do you know? 7,300 tons of iron. Like, just to put that in reference, the average car weighed 1 ton. So that's basically 7,300 average cars in weight of iron. That's insane. And 60 tons of paint. 60 tons of paint. Just imagine that you are the small painter with your tiny little brush, need to go through 60 tons of paint painting that thing. That's insane. And the thing that actually really mind-blowing is the fact that just try to guess, if you're not a French guy. If you're French, that's not fair. But if you're not a French guy, just try to guess in the 5-10 seconds that I'm gonna give you how long it took to build the Eiffel Tower. Like from start to finish, how long it took. It took them only 2 years, 2 months, and 5 days of constructions. There are houses that takes longer than that. I want those people who build the Eiffel Tower to build my next house, because that's insane. Wow, those are some fun facts about the Eiffel Tower. I hope you had some fun with them. Now, if you are a French person and you want to shed some more light on the topic, the Eiffel Tower, you know some information that you want to share, you're more than welcome to do that by leaving a comment. Don't forget to leave a like on the same time. If you are enjoying your time here with me and watching me creating for you the Eiffel Tower, make sure to do that also. Anywho, let's go back to our build. And yes, I do remember that I own you how to create those fountains as dancing fountains. So in a bit we're gonna get to that. But first of all, I wanted to clear something out because I saw many of you are asking about and they're watching me using a tool mod inside the building mode. Now, I covered this in my previous video and I'll say it again. Twisted Maxi, the amazing guy that created the tool mod and allows us all to use it, reached out to me and asked me to help him out using the tool mod, the newest version that he is working on it, to see if there are any things to improve or something that is not working perfectly. And so basically he gave me the option to test it because I'm using a lot the tool mod. So he gave me the option to use it, and yes, so right now you're watching a newer version of the tool mod that is currently still in development and is not out yet. So don't rush over there. By the time I'm recording this, and I will check it out, and if I'm not giving you a big title on the screen that's saying that the new version is out, so probably it's not out yet. So yeah, that's why you are watching me using a version of tool mode in the building mode, something that you still don't have in the game. I believe that soon Twisted Maxi will release it to all of you, because as far as I know, and this is for you Maxi, if you are watching this video, I didn't encounter anything different. It didn't crash my game yet, and you can see, after doing something like the Eiffel Tower and working so much with it, in this build, it should have been broken if there was a place to break it, basically. So yeah, it worked perfectly, it's working perfectly, and I really hope that soon all of you will be able to use his amazing tool mod in the building mode, because you won't believe how much time, effort, and sometimes even frustration it saves you. The fact that you can build in the building mode without the need of a sim in your lot. So yeah, big and amazing work, Twisted Maxi. Oh, and I just want to clarify something that he said. The tool mode in the building mode will not be a paid version. You don't need to pay for it. It will be free for all of you. So of course, the soon it will be out, I'll let you know. And yeah, it will be much more fun to build. So, dancing fountains and how to do that. Actually, right now you can see that I'm placing the fountains themselves, but actually to make them dancing, you need to do that manually once you're downloading the build into your game. Now, to do that, you want to place 2 fountains. Oh, first of all, of course, if you don't know what are dancing fountains is basically the idea of 1 fountain or 2 fountains that starting together, and just briefly seconds after they started rising, some other fountains near them will start rising, and some other fountains near them will start rising few seconds after them, and basically it will look like I don't know, like dancing fountains. Okay, so the way to do that in game is, once you're downloading your Eiffel Tower build into your game, what you want to do is this. You have to have a sim in the lot to do that, because you're gonna need to move to the live mode every time. So you're placing 2 fountains, well, basically exactly where I have the fountains right here. So you just need to look at the setup of the fountains right now. But you're placing 2 fountains exactly where you have them, and then you go back to live mode, press play, and count to 2. Now, not 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Just count 2. 1, 2. Pause and go to building mode once again. Place 2 more fountains near those 2 that you just placed a few seconds ago. Go back to live mode and press play again, count again for 2, 1, 2, pause and go back to building mode. Now, basically you do that repeatedly. Now, once you finish placing all of them, what will happen is that the fountains will start rising in order and they will look like dancing fountains. This is something that you need to do once you're placing the lot. I'm not quite sure if it's gonna hold each time you are like going back to the game after you shut down the game completely. I'm not quite sure it's gonna hold, but definitely this is something that you can do, and if you want to do it, this is how you do it. So I hope you learned how to do that. I hope you learned something new out of this, something very, very cool. I really hope that it can be something like permanent, that you once you do that, it will automatically remember that setting, but I'm not quite sure it is, but who knows, maybe it will be at some point. So yeah, you can see that we are at the, well, we were getting closer to the end of the building process, and you can see this is some lovely park that you can go and have some great time. Now, I created even the Eiffel Tower in night, which means that I place some strip lights also with the tool mod along the sides of the Eiffel Tower, because I do know that they really love to light it in real life. So you can do that basically in the live mode. You can just change the colors of the Eiffel Tower. You're not gonna see the whole process of doing it because it was really long and it's kind of repetitive, so there's no good reason to show you this. But yeah, the Eiffel Tower at night, you'll see it in a tour in a bit, is just amazing. So just stick around to the tour and you'll see it in a bit, or just go inside your game and watch it. Now, of course, this build is at the gallery for you to download and enjoy, and tray files will be in the description down below for you to download it for the cracked version. Make sure to do that in the first 30 days, because after that it will just vanish. Because this is how mean I am. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had some great time spending here with me. Do not forget to hit the like button if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and I'll see you again at the next time. Enjoy the tour, and until the next time, keep that Sims party going for me, because RGR Gaming signing off.